Enter Rocks. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but Ichiro Oda, the man who made One Piece, was hyping up this lurking legend. And with the recent new character reveal of Rocks D Xebec, many people are tying two and two together, which makes ultimate sense. Let's be honest here, it's not rocket science. Honestly, this is something that is in our plain eyesight. But I do want to say this: the flashback hyping up the Rocks crew, and Wano ending with Kaido falling. Let's be honest here, most likely Kaido will fall because Luffy and Kid are keep on yelling they're going to defeat Kaido, so Kaido's going to get defeated. And the biggest question in me personally, whenever I think about Kaido losing and Kaido falling as an emperor, is we all know when Emperor falls, we saw when Whitebeard fell. When Emperor falls, things get crazy. And who's going to make their move? Last time an Emperor fell, Blackbeard made his move. And I want to say this, I feel like that when Kaido falls as an Emperor, it's going to be pandemonium, guys. It's going to be crazy. The seas, the new world is going to be so hectic. And I personally feel like you need something even more hype than Kaido. And let's be honest here, Kaido is the definition of hype, the strongest creature alive. Of course, there's Blackbeard, but Blackbeard is endgame. Of course, there's Akainu, but Akainu's endgame. Like, I feel like Akainu and Blackbeard are like designated endgame characters, and the Gorosei and Imu are definitely a lot of characters are to be involved. But in my opinion, there's got to be a new character on the Yonko side. Well, I can't really say Yonko side, but on the pirate side to be a great villain, if that's as hype as Kaido. I already feel like the Marines with Greenbow, that's a great villain to be included in the story, but I feel like that pirate side needs something that's even more hype than Kaido. And we all know, if you want to get something more hype than Kaido, you need someone that actually reined in Kaido. And today's video, I discussed that. So watch this whole video because I actually am super excited to talk about this. It's actually a very interesting topic, guys. So watch the whole video. It's gonna get crazy. Now, if you guys are pretty much forgetting what happened in the flashback, which I doubt, Roger and Garp fought Rocks, which Rocks had the most crazy crew. It had Rocks D Xebec as the captain. It had Whitebeard, Edward Newgate. It had Big Mom, Charlotte Linlin. It had Kaido as an apprentice. It had Shiki, Captain John. There's just a bunch of monsters on this crew, and like you see the remnants, like the pretty much a lot of times you see like Whitebeard talking about, oh, there can't be too much powerful people in one group because Whitebeard faced out with the Rocks, or Kaido saying there's too much Conqueror's Haki users, probably because the Rocks had all these Conqueror's Haki users, Big Mom, Kaido, Whitebeard, Rocks D Xebec, like just tons of, probably Shiki. There's so many characters that have Conqueror's Haki on one crew. It might not be a good thing. Like, we know the Rogers crew, it was Roger, Rayleigh, and Kozuki Odin as the three people with Conqueror's Haki. We're not too sure if Scarborough Kaban had it, but still, I honestly feel like this team up with Roger and Garp for Roger's most formidable opponent. When you bring up a character and you haven't talked about this character until Wano, like, yes, you've been pointing hints at, but revealing who the character was on Wano in the flashback, if you're gonna reveal this, well, it wasn't really the flashback, but I believe it was actually like right before the flashback or right after the flashback. I'm not too sure, guys, don't quote me, but still, if you're gonna reveal that craziness of a character, how hype he is, Roger's most formidable opponent, there has to be a reason. Each order doesn't just hide something this huge and then shows you in Wano then for no reason. There's got to be some reason. Rocks D Xebec might be one of the most important characters in the One Piece story. Yes, I'm not playing around, guys. I'm not playing around. Now, this is a minor moment for a lot of people. I think this was a huge moment. I think a couple people will probably agree with me. But when Shanks met the Gorosei, and everyone was talking about, oh, Shanks met the Gorosei, Shanks is evil, what's going on? The thing I was really truly intrigued by is what Shanks said to the Gorosei. I want to talk about a certain pirate. Now, a lot of people just assumed he was talking about Blackbeard because we know Shanks has a history of doing this. He went all the way to Whitebeard to talk about Marshal DT and how he scarred him. But why would you say a certain pirate? If you already talked to Whitebeard about Blackbeard, why don't you say, I want to talk about Blackbeard, the Emperor? Like, why? That would be hype. If Shanks said to the Gorosei, I want to talk about Blackbeard, that would be crazy hype, and a lot of people would be looking like, whoa, what's going on? But the fact that he says certain pirate, and Oda's been talking about this lurking legend, and randomly a legend gets brought up that the captain of the Rocks crew, Rocks D Xebec, you got to tie all these two together. All these hints are tying up for me personally, and I definitely feel like we all know that Shanks talking about Blackbeard and to Whitebeard, and Shanks talking about Rocks to the Gorosei. I feel like Blackbeard and Rocks might have some sort of connection that Shanks knows about. Who knows? We all know Shanks was a part of the Roger crew, so Roger would tell Shanks about his dealings with Rocks D Xebec. Like Shanks would know this since he was a part of the crew. So I'm definitely gonna say the hype is real, guys. The future of One Piece, like I'll be honest here, Wano in my opinion is gonna be the best arc in One Piece. But I was always thinking, what's after Wano? How can you top Wano? Of course, the end of the story is gonna top Wano, but like I'm talking about right after Wano. It's not gonna be the end of the story right after Wano. And with all these things that are coming up, I think I know where each Oda is heading towards. It's gonna be pure hype. Now, speaking of Blackbeard, Marshall D. Teach is this crazy historian. Of course, he's the only Willa D member that looks like, how to say this, menacing. And Rocks D Xebec now joins him, as Blackbeard and Rocks D Xebec are kind of like the two villainous Willa D members. And that's definitely a connection you can. It's like Roger and Luffy, Blackbeard and Rocks D Xebec. The thing is, Blackbeard and Luffy are like polar opposites. We saw that in Jaya, but they also share similarities. Like there's so many crazy things and like things that I can tie 1 and 2 together. You know that meme of a guy who has this crazy like theory and it's like a bunch of needles being threaded together? That's how I feel right now when discussing Blackbeard and his connections. This man never sleeps. He's a historian. He's on the pirate island Beehive where the Rocks crew pretty much got destroyed, and he had just acquired Moria. Think about it, guys. Gekko Moria randomly going to Blackbeard because of Absalom. Like that was a random storyline that got brought up. Absalom dying to the Blackbeard pirates and Gekko Moria pissed off. There's always a reason why each Oda does things, and I feel like Moria and Blackbeard, this is gonna be, and we've seen in, I think it was in a Pirate Warriors game that Moria and Blackbeard actually teamed up. So the fact that it happened in canon story, did Ichiro Oda leak this to the Pirate Warriors crew, like the people who made that video game? Who knows? Now, there's one of two ways I personally think that Rocks can get into this current storyline. Because I'll be honest here, a lot of people don't like to see old characters be like prominent characters in the storyline. Like I remember when I was a big fan of Shiki getting back in the story, like somehow, but people are like, oh, he already fell in the movie. He lost in the movie. There's no point in Shiki coming back, and which was true. The movie wasn't canon, but like it's still Shiki losing to Shiki was a movie villain that was a canon story. So it was like he's one of the more complicated characters, honestly. I feel like maybe Ichiro Oda wanted to keep Shiki as a flashback character, but wanted to have him included in a movie. And with Shiki, Zephyr, and of course like Bullet, like there's so many legendary characters Ichiro Oda brings back for these movies, and I'm not surprised that Ichiro Oda is going to bring a legendary character for the actual canon story for the first time. And Rocks, I think one of the first ways you can bring him back is like kind of like a Ryuma in Thriller Bark, with Moria now teaming with a Blackbeard. If Moria brings the corpse of Rocks to Blackbeard and the whole shadow thing, and then of course Rocks comes back alive like Oz, like of course Ryuma, and he's extremely powerful, which I don't doubt. And if there's some way by Blackbeard maybe combining some of his powers, we know Blackbeard has the Yami Yami no Mi, and he of course has the Gurur no Mi, but if Blackbeard has some other like trick up his sleeve that he can make Rocks have the same power he had in his youth, in my opinion, that would be very, 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 very interesting. But the thing is, like I said, this number one option, I really am not a big fan of the number one option. I think it's a simple option, but I feel like you have to go beyond the reader's mindset. So my second option is actually something that's even crazier than the first one. So hear me out, guys. So I feel like the second option could be if Blackbeard, hear me out, guys. We all know the major thing. You don't talk about, like in Thriller Bark, Luffy lost his shadow, Zoro lost his shadow, Robin lost her shadow. Like seeing all these characters lose their shadow, and it's such a sad moment when they're about to die, and then out of nowhere they defeat Moria and the shadows come back. Like that was such an anxiety moment. Like seeing half the Strats almost die in Thriller Bark because they lost their shadow, and all the people getting their shadows back and crying, and Lola's happy and everyone's happy. What if we see a character actually give his shadow on purpose? Hear me out, guys. If Blackbeard gives his shadow to the Rocks corpse, that's literally combining Blackbeard and Rocks in one corpse. We saw with Ryuma, it was Ryuma of the Wano combined with a lot of Brook traits. So I would be surprised if Blackbeard gives, and he's a Marshall D. Teach, Rocks D. Xebec, it's even more of a strong connection with his shadow and Rocks' corpse. It could be the ultimate zombie, even more powerful than Oz Jr. And I'm telling you guys right now, if there's somehow where Blackbeard can even have maybe Blackbeard also obtains Rocks D Xebec's fruit ability and combines his fruit ability in the corpse. This could be the strongest opponent Luffy has faced, even stronger than Kaido, guys. If Blackbeard is able to do this, he literally gets a huge W from me. And I want to say, if there could be a case where Blackbeard does all this with the help of Moria, and then Blackbeard tells Moria to go to Wano to defeat Kaido, and after the Luffy-Kaido battle, when Luffy beats Kaido with Kid help and everything, of course, if Kaido's like defeated but he's not dead, out of nowhere, Moria, think about it, guys, Moria and the corpse of Rocks D Xebec, and Rocks D Xebec kills his former crew member Kaido. We know Blackbeard, the whole thing about him killing Thatch, his crew member, and Moria getting his revenge on Kaido for killing his whole crew. It's so poetic, guys. If they take Kaido's fruit ability and Blackbeard obtains the ultimate Zoan, with also having his already ultimate Logia fruit and ultimate Paramecia fruit, Blackbeard's power will literally be unstoppable. Marshall D. Teach, you are scaring me. That's how I feel if this all happened. But it's just a speculation. It's a theory, if you want to call it. I'm just discussing possibilities, guys, as a One Piece fan. This just came up to me randomly. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What are your thoughts on Rocks entering the story and this craziness about Blackbeard? I will touch upon Blackbeard again in the future, but right now I want to hear your guys' thoughts on Blackbeard and Rocks and Moria and what I'm bringing to the table right now. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Turn on notifications because I got some huge videos coming. I got way crazier videos I have coming. Like and share if you enjoy. Like and share only if you enjoyed. And subscribe for more One Piece content. I'm the Legend Mac, and I'm gone.